The Sunday night game, NBC, looked good before the season started. Now, not so much. Texans at home, 3.5, 45.5 the total against the Cowboys. I want the Cowboys as dogs, not as favorites. They won last week, but again failed to cover, and especially at home, where Garrett is an ATS disaster. In your face, Teddy. Zeke Elliott, what he means to that offense, and Dak, 150 yards. Also had some big receptions as well. Dallas has been a money-making machine to the under. Well, they finally played an over last week. Texans got off the mat for the time being and saved O'Brien's job by beating the Colts in overtime. Your thoughts on this one?
Hang on a second. Let me get this straight. In my face because of Zeke Elliott? Dallas didn't cover the spread last week. Okay.
You don't think he means anything? He's that whole offense. He's that whole offense.
And for the Cowboys right now, he is. And he certainly had a big week last week. And Dallas still didn't cover the number. But as you mentioned, it's a change of roles here. They were favorites last week. They're dogs this time around. But the number one point you made that I agree with is this under trend went down. I think 11-2 to the under their last 13 ball games. Last week went over. It was 11-1 to the under. But that's the 2018 Dallas Cowboys. The playmakers aren't out there on the perimeter. The defense is better than it has been, even with Sean Lee, the Sean Lee situation. Certainly, Vander Bosch has been really good at linebacker for them in early season play. And when you have an offense that's not explosive and a defense that's getting stops and a coach who's not inclined to push the ball downfield and push pace, you end up with a nice run of unders. That's what the Cowboys are on right now. And certainly, the Texans, they didn't deserve to win the game last week. They blew a huge fourth quarter lead, and they would have lost in overtime had Indy's receiver that was the 3rd and 2, and he dropped a wide open pass, and the Colts would have gone in and scored the game-winning touchdown on that drive. Instead, they had to kick a field goal, and Houston ended up getting their chance to win. But there were a lot of really positive signs for the Texans last week. Deshaun Watson, back-to-back 300 yards games last week. He threw for 375 and ran for 41 more in that victory. And it was a bevy of threats. You have DeAndre Hopkins. You have Will Fuller. Both these guys, big playmakers. They got a third game now in KK Kute, who was huge last week. So we talk about a team with 3 downfield weapons and a QB like Watson. That's scary. The other scary thing for the Texans last week is, guess what? The pass rush was there. We saw J.J. Watt be a dominant defender. We saw Davion Clowney be a dominant defender. When both of those guys are bringing it on every play, that's a tough defense. That's a tough pass rush and a tough defense to move the football against through the passing game at all. Luck took 1 million hits last week. Dak's going to take 1 million hits this week. That trend of unders in Houston, Dallas games might be something to look at again on Sunday night. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.